Hi there, I'm Kay from the Immigration People. Welcome to another episode of our PR success stories. Recently, we have received a lot of good news from our clients that their PR application have been successful. Nothing makes me happier as an immigration consultant than seeing my client's application was approved. It's the same sensation as your friends or your family member accomplish something. We have mentioned previously in a few of our videos that getting a PR is not as difficult as you think. It's about getting the right documentation, submitting the correct profile by increasing your chances of getting approval, and we are here to help you to increase your chances. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you will not miss out on our weekly new content. If you like this video, you can share with your friends. Without further ado, let me introduce to our client to you, and he's Karthik, who recently received his PR approval. So Karthik, congratulations once again.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Kay.
the whole team was extremely happy for you. You can finally call Singapore your home. So perhaps you would like to share with our viewer a bit about your profile?
Yeah, I'm Karthik. I'm a software engineer. I'm also a father of two. And yes, the whole family is pleased as well. And we are very happy that we got our PR approved as well.
Karthik, would you like to share with the viewer like how many years you have been living here, and was it your first application?
I've been in Singapore for past 7 years around, and this is my second application which got approved.
7 years ago, right? So you came to Singapore. So what makes you choose Singapore? Was Singapore even your first choice, and why do you want to get a PR from Singapore?
Yes, it was. Singapore feels close to a home, and I think the Indian community is largely the benefit factor compared to other countries, I would say. And for me, the weather, the people, the food, and everything is so suitable for me and my family, and it feels right at home.
The first application, right? Did you complete it yourself, or did you engage a professional?
I engaged a professional, some other consultancy before, which got rejected. At the time, it was physical. It's not digitalized. That time it was physical submission.
That should be before year 2017,
That's right,
right?
that's right.
Okay, I guess like that time you were still quite new in Singapore?
Yes, that's
Maybe
also right.
3 years?
2.5 to 3, that's right.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So since you have experienced services from 2 different immigration consultancy firms, perhaps you can share with the viewer what is your experience and what is the difference working with us and working with another companies?
The first thing that comes to my mind is the cost, because the cost was not, like when we try to approach a consultancy, the cost was not mentioned before, right? And then we tried to approach them, and then they gave this exorbitant fees. At that moment, we had a dilemma whether we have to go through them or we should try by ourselves. And with you, I think we had an upfront discussion wherein you did mention the fees upfront, and then it was very helpful that I was able to decide whether I had to go with this or not.
Yeah, I guess Karthik, I think by now you should know our pricing is on the website, so we are extremely transparent with our pricing.
That's right.
Yeah, what about in terms of service standard? Do you see a difference between the 2 companies?
Yes, actually, absolutely yes. Because the previous one, after the payment was done, everything was just emailed to and fro, and there was no sort of communication which actively discussed, what I should be doing and stuff.
Oh.
So most likely, I had to urge them to ask them every time that what should I do and stuff like that.
So you're chasing
Sort
them
of,
behind?
Sort of, yes. And since it was a first time as well, so I was not aware which one should do, what type of fillings I should be doing. So it's like, they never pushed me. It's like I have to reach them all the time. Okay, is it okay? And stuff like that.
Oh, all right. So not very proactive, I would
That's
say.
true.
How did you actually find out about the immigration people?
Yes, actually it was through one of my insurance consultants who recommended you. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that she recommended you, and I'm glad that it got approved as well.
For your information, the immigration people works with a few insurance agency, and they have been referring clients to us. So Karthik, now that you have achieved your Singapore PR status, what is your next things to do?
Obviously, to get a home is our immediate plan, but yeah, we are just discussing about that. And then, yeah, I mean, the approval was all of a sudden. We were not planning for all of these, and now that we have all these things, then we are trying to have, trying to integrate with the society, to get a home and put the kids to the schools and stuff. So we are in discussion with that.
So you plan to purchase a HDB flat or a condo?
Probably. That's the discussion we have been having at home.
You have one failed attempt with an immigration consultancy firm.
right.
So what makes you, still interested to engage another immigration firm despite the first failure?
As I mentioned, the first one was completely physical submission, right? And then the next one is completely digital. So whatever I had before is not usable sort of thing. So it's completely digital. And then we were in a bit of a black area, like, we don't know what to do in the digital submission. And the number of documents which ICA asks is very minimal, right? And if you just give that, I'm not sure whether that's enough for me to prove that, I'm competent with others or I'm better than others. How do we prove that? So that was a bit of skeptical decision I had to take.
So what makes you pick the immigration people? Did you went to other company and attended their consultation before choosing us?
No, I just relied on my previous experience with the another consultancy. And then since I had discussion with you, I felt a bit confident and part of like it was a calm discussion where you don't try to. I had the previous experience where they tried to woo me with something. You will get this, as you mentioned. It was just 2.5 years since I've been in Singapore, and they did say that I have high chances of approval.
Is it 99%?
So, I mean, this time there was no wooing of the client or something. You just were being
don't.
practical discussion. This is what it might happen. This might happen stuff. So I thought, okay, I mean, that's what I could ask for, like an honest opinion on my profile. So I just went ahead with you.
All right, great. So have you thought of becoming a Singapore citizen?
That thought crosses my mind, but I think it's too early for me at the moment.
Of course,
and I also want my kids to take bit of maturation by the time, like let them integrate the society. They're still young, and once they decide that this is a path which they want to do, then as a family we will try to apply for that Singaporean citizenship.
Yeah. To apply for a Singapore citizen, Karthik, just for your information, you have to be at least 2 years PR before you can approach to apply for this Singapore citizenship. And of course, if 2 years later you're thinking about it, you know who to find, right?
Of course.
Do you have any advice for our viewer who is keen to apply for Singapore PR or Singapore citizenship?
Yeah. I would suggest to go to a good consultancy, probably K and their consultancy, because they specialize in the documentation, right? So, and you can avoid a lot of documentation errors, and which you might be skeptical about due to initial submission. And I have seen so many corrections in my initial filling itself from K and their team. So I think these things you can avoid in hand before even the submission. I think that's where they are very helpful in.
Thank you so much, Karthik. Thank you so much for your generous sharing. In fact, we have helped a lot of people get approval, but it's not everyone who is willing to, do a filming with us. Yeah, kind of like exposing yourself. And you did it very well. I understand that it's your first time doing this kind of filming, right?
That's correct. I mean, I'm happy to suggest, right? I mean, it was a mutual helping process. You helped us with getting something which we were desiring.
Yes.
And I'm happy to, give it back to you by saying that, okay, I mean, you guys did that for me, and I'm happy to share that with other people as well.
Thank you. And that's all for today. We hope that today's episode is useful for you. Once again, we like to stress that applying for Singapore PR is not as difficult as you think. You just need to pick the right immigration partner to work with you to make sure that it is a successful one. If you're keen to find out more about Singapore PR and Singapore citizenship, simply arrange for a consultation session with us and we will be more than happy to assist you. And we'll see you in our next episode. Bye!